Helen, Mama Busia, but just look at the distance between number 1 and number 2, and it keeps on increasing there. And Team Uganda doing well lead.
Yeah, but it's going to be a great run from the lady, the parliamentarian lady at the top of this race. But don't expect her to see a blistering pace, because these are people that spend most of their times not on the track but busy discussing for their various nations. And down here they come trying their level best to put up a show and dare a little for whichever nation they are representing. Michael.
Yeah, first of all, Uganda is represented by 3 ladies, and just like you can see, in number 1 position is Honorable from Team Uganda, and in second position still is Auma, Mama Busia. Yeah, so when you take a look at what we're seeing at the moment, you realize that Team Uganda is well represented. 499 is fighting very hard to prove that she can probably climax the 1,500 meters as the leader, and she wants to walk away triumphant. That is why she's concentrating very highly. You can get to realize that the climate in Uganda is just favorable. That is why it is called the Pearl of Africa, and forever it will be. Still athletics. The Honorable from Busia, that is Mama Busia, Auma Wandera Helen, is still fighting very hard to also make sure she can become number 1.
Hello, Christine, all the way from Erute North, by the way, from Nira. She's the one who's basically leading the race right now, and you can see she's very much into this. She's keeping her mind on the game, closely followed by Auma Helen, also from Uganda. So it's 1-2 for Team Uganda here. Yeah,
we really missed out on Honorable Abeja Susan, who was also supposed to be part of this for Team Uganda. But it is just very fine that we have these 3 that are also fighting very hard to make sure that Team Uganda maintains a perfect start in the bracket of athletics. Remember, I told you earlier on that Uganda is tested, is tried, and proven when it comes to the issue of women's athletics.
Well, that's a very good run, really very good run from Christina Kelo. And her speed has a little bit gone down, but at least she has opened a serious gap between her and Auma Helen. So it's a battle of Auma and Kelo here.
Yep.
A battle between Busia and Erute North in this one, and you can just see she's still keeping her momentum. She knows the gap is there, and she's really doing well. There is no one in front of her, and there is a little bit of a space between her and Helen Auma.
But of course, Peter, apart from that, from the race proper, I would like to give credit to these parliamentarians, especially the Ugandan lads that have spared time off their busy campaign schedule. In a little over 35 days, they will be down at the mercy of the voters. The voters, will be down there to decide who comes back to parliament. But these guys hope to come and refresh a little by doing some sport, and all of us actually need to put off time and get some miles under our legs, because it's a very, very healthy thing. Peter and Michael, I told you yesterday, and Ugandans out there listening, that body, mind and soul is one of the Olympic values that sport actually lives. You've got to be fit in order for you to navigate all other spheres of life.
Oh, she's still doing very well, Christina Kelo, all the way from Erute North, and you can actually see that Goretti has fallen way behind, and she just wants to complete the race. Her speed has totally deteriorated, but one thing I love about her is she's still keeping the smile on that face. She just wants to complete. Remember, there are points for completing the rest, and that's what Goretti. There you go.
Oh, she needs to go. No, she needs to go.
She needs to continue.
Yeah, she needs to go. It's the final lap now. Yeah,
she needs to continue. Christina Kelo.
It's the final lap. Yeah.
Done. Oh my goodness, there. But sometimes it actually breaks when you stop. Then again you begin.
Yeah.
But good thing about her is she's still having the same kind of composure.
She created space between her and the second position, Auma. That's what has enabled her to maintain that position. Otherwise, in the instance that Auma was a little close, then be sure Auma would be at the helm at the top of this by now.
Look at that. Big number 500 also trying as much as possible to play catch up to Akelo Christine and Auma Helen on that side. And Team Uganda not doing very bad today. We only have, by the way, 3 countries competing. It's basically Uganda, I think Rwanda and Yala. Three
It's Kenya and Uganda.
right now.
Where's the Kenyan lady, by the way? Could she be out by now? I don't see her anywhere in the picture. Is the Kenyan lady still on as part of the competitors? I doubt she still is. But anyway,
she's still there. She's actually number 2, and she's closing up the gap between her and Akelo Christine.
Wow.
Akelo Christine is actually not mindful of the space. The MP, Honorable Member of Parliament from Kenya, can actually do catch up there, and that's exactly what she's doing. Goretti is still through, still also doing a little bit of catch up on that bend, but Team Uganda still much leading on this one in regards to the 1,500 meters. And if only we could actually see, this is the gap here between number 1 and number 2. It would be very nice to actually see that distance between these two, between Uganda and that is Kenya.
Yes, first of all, we are into the bell lap. The bell lap in athletics is the final lap of the race, and you can see Team Uganda is still leading with the Honorable in Akelo Christine, who is still leading for Team Uganda. It is really nice to see a great performance from her. It is really nice to see Team Uganda in there.
And that's number 2. And it looks like this will be going to Akelo Christine. She's just a few meters away from the finishing line, but she's still keeping up composure. And she's now increasing some bit of speed on the final bend. 1 and 2, Kenya closing in. Yeah, and it's still Akelo Christine. On the other side, Mama Busia is also trying to play catch-up here. And she has increased on space and pace. And you can see we are down on the finishing line. And your winner today is Christine Akelo, all the way from Erute North. And closely followed by the Honorable Member all the way from Kenya. Then Auma Helen from Uganda, that's Busia, comes in at number 3.
Great performance from Akelo Christine, who has managed to walk away triumphant in this race. She has really been outstanding with the same pace right from the first lap up to the bell lap. She has had one pace. She has been very calm, and she has managed to go prove a point right there. But then also talking about Mama Busia, who has also come out there as number 3, she has managed to put up a great performance still, because making it to the finish line is called for, and making it to the finish line makes you believe that you've had a really great preparation. So this continues to prove that these ladies not only legislate, but they get time for training and gymming. This is really healthy for them.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Mama Busia, she's feeling the aftermath of the race. She gave her all, finishing number 3. But it was a very good run. You can see the celebration there from Biaruhanga. Very, very happy that Uganda has actually managed to win 1. So far, so good for Team Uganda this morning.
Yeah, you feel the pain after every rush. That is the joy of effort. The joy of it. She's feeling the pain. But tell you what, Peter, she's content having taken part.
Wait a moment. Goretti is still on the track. She's looking to finish this. One final run for Goretti. There she goes. Yeah, there she goes, Honorable Goretti.
And she's still energetic.
Yeah.
She's still energetic. Yes, she's been beaten.
She puts a smile on the face. Just look at that smile. Look at her smiling. She just wants to.
That is one of the most refreshing pictures we've seen down at the stadium this morning. There she celebrates having completed, Peter. At times, it's not about winning. Sport is not about that. Sport is about completing your race. It doesn't matter what time you do complete the race. I watched at the Olympics a lady who finished the marathon in more than 4 hours. Peter, this is not the worst we shall ever see. And you think that it's good for her. She will not tell. Her children will not be told that your mother didn't complete 1,500 meters.
Like I told you, there are points for completing a race. And Honorable Goretti Namuga has actually gone on to complete this. And you can see she actually gets some greeting all the way from Team Uganda. And they will be going to cool it off ahead of the second race of the night that will be getting underway very, very shortly. So we have 1,500 meters for the men's category. And that will be coming in very, very well and very soon. And you can see Team Rwanda on the starting lineup. They have 2 on the starting lineup. And also Team Uganda having 2. And it will be Team Iyala also coming in very, very soon. So Julius Achon is actually one of those on the starting lineup here for Team Uganda. So we expect something good for this from this race here. Very, very good. men's category.
Julius Achon, a former Olympian, two-time Olympian, doesn't expect anything less than a success here. He must come out on top, and he tells you that he's been training a little harder to ensure that he represents his country well down at these games. You expect Julius Achon. Of course, he can't do the times he did 20 plus years ago in Atlanta Olympics at 1996 and at the Sydney Games in 2000. But you expect him to put up a great show when he comes up against fellow legislators who, like him, don't train that much. But of course, with him, it's history that he has to make. He has some pressure on him. I talked to him privately earlier today, and he told me that yes, he feels some little pressure, but it's not the pressure he used to feel. He used to go through back in the days when he was one of Uganda's shining buds. I told you here that he performed pretty well at the Sydney Olympics, where he finished at the semi-final stage. He finished sixth at that, but he set national records prior that stood long enough for him to be proud as a legislator. Nalis Bujingo taking the lads through the do's and don'ts of this 1,500 meters. It's as simple as start in your lane, but you can cross over, you can stagger, and it will become a single lane, single file later in the race. Of course, Uganda enjoying the women's 1,500 meters, and remember, Ugandans out there watching that all these are finals. So Uganda already has a gold in athletics from the women's 1,500 meters.
Well, there you go. Team Uganda on the starting point, and of course Rwanda on the starting point. Julius Achon over there. Yeah, we have everyone on the starting point here, so we expect at least a mouth-watering run here between these athletes from Kenya, Uganda, and Rwanda. Uganda did dominate, by the way, on the other side, and in the ladies category of the 1,500. So we're just waiting to see what will be coming from a team that is the three that will be here in the men's category for the 1,500 meters. So it's a race of serious magnitude here.
Michael Stefan has been to the finish line. Michael, what are the runners going through now?
Yeah, the runners are really joyful, more so. That is Namuga Goreti, who has come as number 4. She's really joyful that she's managed to make it to the finish line, and having managed to make it to the bell lap. But talking about the winner, Akelo Christine, she's jubilating and relaxing a bit. Probably she could be coming back for the 400 or for the 4x4. Who knows? We are waiting for that one, and I liked her pace, and she continued to prove that she's been really training very hard to come represent the country. But just like you can see on your screen right there, the men are getting ready, and I think this one will be a little bit more competitive because I see Rwanda, Uganda, Iyala, and Kenya are all into this one. So this one is going to be a little bit tight, and guest Peter will be giving us the real facts of the honorable members and senates that will be coming into the 1,500 meter race for the men.
And I remind Ugandans that the nature of broadcast of these games is that Uganda Broadcasting Corporation TV, for instance, has this athletics today and will not be a part of anything else that happens later tonight. But you can connect to other platforms that show you these games live and exclusive on their various platforms. We have rights to a couple of them, but other media houses do have rights for others. NBS, for instance, and Kufa TV carry the feed for many of these others. There will be golf later. There will be a lot of activity, and it still continues till the 17th. And I think, Peter, this is going to be a purely sports month on UBC, because after this we go into
the AFCON.
Absolutely.
All right, there we go. So we have the 1,500 meters for the men's category, and Iyala is represented by Paul Musamali, together with David Ole Sankok, the one representing that is Rwanda. For the men's from Rwanda, it's Honorable Wirunji representing together with Honorable Anes. Those will be the ones on the starting lineup for the 1,500 meters for Team Kenya and Rwanda and Iyala. And of course for Team Uganda, represented by Julius Achon, one of those. And he has a very good record when it comes down to the athletics. Let's wait and see if that will be one to actually follow up on. But there goes the starting lineup. And Kenya has actually brought in a serious team. About 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Kenyans on the starting lineup. Then you have 2 Ugandans and 2 runners all the way from Iyala. Sorry, Rwanda, and 1 member. Is that a fair run, really?
2 from Rwanda, 2 from Iyala, 2 from Uganda, and 5 from Kenya.
Yeah, the Iyala member looks a little bit handicapped. I don't know if he will be able to play catch-up. But now began well. It's Julius Achon from Uganda beginning this. And you can see the rhythm and pace that he brings into this. It really depicts his ability to actually compete and his ability that he was a competitor before on the higher levels. Julius Achon in white, neck to neck with, of course, the honorable member all the way from Kenya. And it looks like the Kenyans are closing in. That's exactly what they do even on the international scene.
Yeah.
They try as much as possible to close the others out of this. And Julius Achon knows this because he has been at the higher level. But look at that, Kenya dominating 1, 2, 3. They are closing the others behind, and they are making it their very own race for the moment.
It's going to be a big one for that man putting on 4.73 for Uganda. Julius Achon. Remember, he's got pedigree, he's got class, he's got resilience, he's got everything there is in life for him to triumph against the Kenyans. But tell you what, the team effort of the Kenyans is one that we've got to look out for. It's just 300 meters down, so they've got another 3 rounds to go around this majestic Mandela National Stadium Nambola.
Indeed. So the Kenyans are represented by Honorable Titus Luti, and not forgetting also there is Chemutai, Honorable John Chegucha, Honorable John Paul Mwirigwi are the ones all representing Team Kenya over there. But of course, Team Uganda represented by Julius Achon, who's trying to play catch up with the Kenyans, and they are shoulder to shoulder in this 1,500 meters race. And this is where I say, is this a fair race really? The honorable member all the way from Iyala is handicapped and is actually up against those that are very much okay. Yes. It's not a balanced race in this.
No, it is really balanced because he's also trying to prove a point that he can also come through and fight on, probably make it to the finish line, and also represent Iyala, because in the earlier race that was for the women, we didn't see a representative for Iyala. But a great performance right there from Team Uganda. Julius Achon, shot number 4.73, representing very nicely. I love the pace that these parliamentarians are using right here. You can't believe Barnes, even my friend Peter Tai right here, can't start with such a pace.
Absolutely. As we go into about 700 meters of this 1,500 meters to be done, like I think I've been talking about the person with disability. He's not competing against in the same class as this one. He's in a category of his own.
So he's competing alone.
Yeah, he's competing alone.
No, I get you.
Especially in such kind of games, it can be done. You go and like women and men at times can be set off at the same time in a marathon.
Yeah,
but each one of them has a different category.
All right, there we go. So thank you very much for the corrections, John Ban Sentamu. And the honorable member there from Iyala is the only representative representing the persons with disabilities here in the 1,500 meters here at the Nelson Mandela Stadium Annex. But it's a battle between Uganda and Kenya, which is actually neck to neck here. And Julius Achon in white over there, the honorable member all the way from Erute, representing really well. Sorry, Otuke East is where he does represent. He was actually abducted by the Lord's Resistance Army at the age of 12. He is a retired middle distance runner, and also he's a specialist in 800 meters. But today he is representing Uganda in the 1,500 meters. He managed to win the World Junior Championships of 1994 in Lisbon, and also managed to win the 1995 All Africa Games. And right now he is racing for the Parliament of Uganda. But Kenya is still putting everything on, keeping the price on. Julius Achon is not in any one way trying to back up, and this could be the final round. Let's wait for the bell if there is, and it's still neck to neck between Uganda and Kenya. Oh, there you go, the bell is sounded. This is the race of a lifetime right now, and Julius Achon knows exactly that the pressure will be from the Kenyans, and of course the Kenyans know exactly the kind of pressure also coming in from Julius Achon. They are trying to break up, but these two are not letting go. They are totally not letting go. It's shoulder to shoulder here, and it's stride for stride. Julius Achon with his mind in the race, and also the Kenyan making sure that he can continue. They are halfway to the finishing line, and we are just waiting for that final bend as they come through, and that's where the kickoff will be. Who will have the gas? Who will have the energy?
Yeah, that's Honorable Peter, Honorable Tutu Lute from Kenya. It's been like that from Ghana, and seems to be remaining that until we go to tape, because there's nothing to differentiate between the two runners. It's been one of those ones that is actually interesting. Of course, in terms of if you turn back the years, you can tell that these two were simply majestic at their prime.
Well, Titus Lute up against Julius Achon. Achon seems well organized. Lute is breathing fire behind his back. You can see from the eyes.
That is the kick.
This is where the kick does matter. Lute up against Achon. Lute still moving in. Achon could be beaten on this. Lute increases with his pride. Achon refuses to give up. The chase is still on. And it's Achon. What a race. What a race.
Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Julius Achon reminisces years gone by. The last time he did this for Uganda, maybe majestically, was at the Sydney Olympics 2000. He finished 6th in the semi-final, and it's really gonna enjoy. It's been electric, and it's one of those things that we shall celebrate from this 1,500 meters. The Kenyans are getting position number 3, and there's a Ugandan still down in that track, coming down to the finish. And I think, Peter, this is one of those that shows you that the excitement is building. If you're watching from anywhere close to Nambole, please come down. It's free of charge.
Yeah, this is what we expected in the men's category. A battle between Uganda and Kenya. Awesome run. Very, very good run. And the climax of everything was very, very good. And Team Rwanda comes in, finishes the line over there. Then, of course, it will be Team Rwanda on the far side, but Kenya also comes in and finishes that lap. Remember, there are points of completing, but you have to give it to the Honorable Member of Parliament from Iyala, representing the persons with disability. He's doing his own thing, and he has actually gained a lot of praise here at the Nelson Mandela Stadium. A one-man show.
Yeah,
there you go.
In fact, that is David Ole Sankok. David Ole Sankok from Iyala. He's also proving a point right there. But I love the fact that he's also fighting very hard to make it to the finish line. Remember, in athletics, we believe in fighting up to the last moment. But here comes another honorable from Team Rwanda, making sure that he also scoops at least a point for finishing at the race. That is the men's 1,500 meter race, where Uganda have really triumphed.
Uganda won this one, and they are last also. And the honorable member, Isabirie, a guy, if I'm not mistaken, is way behind. But 1,500 meters is not easy, totally not easy. There are points for completion. And there you go, done for Team Kenya. It's completed over there. But also the honorable member, Sankok, all the way from Iyala, is also done with his race.
And is being celebrated by the rest of his teammates, because they've also got a representative right about in this one. Remember, in the earlier race, that was in the women's category, we failed to see a representative from Iyala. But it is really lovely that this time around Iyala has been represented, and we are waiting to see whether they will be represented in the 400-meter race that will be coming up and the 100-meter race.
Well, that's it for the 1,500 meters, both men and women, and of course Uganda dominating this one. We did see in the ladies category Akulu Christine winning it for Team Uganda, and here in the men's category it is Julius Achon. He promised us that he will be winning this, and indeed he has.
Man from Otuke. He first of all gave us an interview right here. He gave us a word to prove that he's been getting lots of training, getting himself ready for the big event, and he has managed to walk away triumphant and number 1, which makes Uganda still hold the 100% record in athletics, winning in 2 races. That is the women's race of the 1,500 meters and the men's race of the 1,500 meters.
By the way, there is a football match today. I know we have athletics here, but there is a football match today between Uganda and Kenya. And that will be at about 6 p.m. Uganda time over there. Uganda managing to win against Burundi by 4 goals to 1. Kenya is yet to play. They play their first game. Uganda plays, I think, their final game in the men's category, because there are only 3 countries represented in football: Kenya, Uganda, and Burundi. So that's how it is. Now we are going for the 100 meters, gentlemen. And you can see prayers already from Team Rwanda. They have already begun praying. Yeah, you know God first.
God comes in every situation. And you can see Honorable Member shot number 474 from Team Rwanda comes through. I saw her getting herself ready as early as 7 a.m.
Yeah, that is Honorable Mukabaliza. Jermaine. She's the one in, there, and she'll be the only representative for Rwanda in the 100 meters. This is where I love the heat. Beautiful races lined up here at the Nelson Mandela Stadium Annex. 100 meters. We are up for something here.
Yeah, of course, the 100 meters is at every level of athletics is one that we'll look out for. And Uganda here will have to try as much as they possibly can to ensure that they maintain the momentum that they've built since the morning, winning the first two races of the day, the one fights men and women. Honorable Wachon, but the latest to do that, and he had to dig deep. Reminiscing about the olden days where he had to endure stiff competition from lads that were athletic, but even now he's proven that he's a man of all seasons, coming out on top of this, and you think that this is going to create some kind of inspiration to others that come up. The 100 meters, it's the women's. That lady, like Michael told you, she came in as early as 7 and she warmed up. She's promised to beat Uganda.
Yeah, there is warming up, then sitting, and you sit for a very long time. Those are two different things. But just reminding you that in the 100 meters, Uganda shall be represented by, in the ladies category. Let me actually look for that very well, because I do have men's category. Odoy together with John will be there. Still looking to get the ladies for Team Uganda, as they'll be coming in very, very shortly.
Congratulations.
We have Honorable Auma Helen together with Honorable Susan Mugabe, will be the one representing Team Uganda. So there we have it. Kenya represented, and all the two for Team Kenya are ready. If you go down to Iyala are also well represented in the 100 meters. So that's how we stand.
By show of hands,
we can't wait to see the two ladies coming through from Team Kenya. Honorable Catherine Omanyo from Kenya, and Senator Esther Okenyuri will also be featuring for Team Kenya right there in the 100-meter races.
All right, that's how things are currently gearing up. A battle, real battle in the 100 meters where action is meeting the ground as for now. Just waiting. Well, Team Uganda has actually not yet come through. We're waiting for Team Uganda. 100 meters, Auma Helen together with Susan Mugabe. Susan Mugabe putting on bib number 498, and that is Auma Helen, with 498, and Susan Mugabe with 460. That is Team Kenya there, represented by the two.
Yes, we can't wait to see how Kenyans are going to be faring in this one. We can get to realize that Team Uganda is not yet on to the starting point, and we are waiting to see who can be fastest. We have Rwanda, we have Kenya, we have Uganda, and Iyala on this one. We can't wait to see who is going to be fastest.
It is getting very interesting.
Mama Busia back again.
There she goes, Mama Busia. She has just come from 1,500 meters. She said
she's
if there was nobody, she will go. She has that engine. 1,500 meters, then after you go for 100 meters, oh my God.
And she will be representing at the 400-meter race.
Yeah, she's doing too many here. So Auma Helen, putting on bib number 498, will be, I think, the only Ugandan member of parliament to go and rest their 100. Yeah, let's wait and see who has the right legs on this.
I want to see the pace in this one, because 100 meters is all about the pace, and it can be completed in just about 10 to 15 seconds.
Maybe 20 for this one.
Oh my God. Did you say 10 seconds for them?
Okay.
That is Usain Bolt. That's a professional 100-meter champion. We have members of parliament here who spend most of their time legislating.
I believe they get the inspiration from Usain Bolt. And talk about Marion Jones. If you saw a lady in Marion Jones, who also proved the point back in time. So I guess these ones also buy a leaf and try to be like those ones. I want to see how fast Mama Busia can be.
Mama Busia is there, and also here comes now Susan Mugabe. But look at how she's walking to the starting lineup. She's taking her time. Honorable Susan Mugabe.
That is called for. That is called for. You have to make your opponents feel you're going to be that easy. You're going to be a walkover, not until you get onto the track and seem a little bit different.
Actually, I'm being reminded that's Adeke Ann. Yes, the Honorable Member of Parliament from Soroti. That's Adeke Ann. Yeah, there has been a change in. Thank you. There's been a change when it comes down to Team Uganda. So
Please, let's clear the
Adeke
restaurant.
Ann comes in. She's also
Let's move
well
back
known for being
from
a
the
very good
restaurant.
athlete. So keep your eye on
Please
her,
move back from the
Adeke Ann.
restaurant.
I
Let's
can't
be
wait to
behind
see
the camera people,
just
please.
number 460 for Uganda, proving
Let's
a
be
point.
behind the
Adeke
camera
Ann
people.
and Mama Busia also standing in there. So Uganda has 2 athletes standing in. Talk about Kenya also coming through with 2, Rwanda with 1. And I want to see whether the Kenyans are also getting into this one. 100 meters is not a joke. 100 meters is a very big test for each and every athlete that gets onto the track.
Yeah, Adeke Ann Ebaju, 34-year-old, and she's also, by the way, a lawyer, and she's very, very known in Soroti district. She's the woman MP there of Soroti. She's also, by the way, a basketballer. She did play basketball yesterday.
Yeah.
So let's wait and see if the 2 Ugandan MPs can showcase their skills here. Most of these members of parliament actually bring back their racing skills from secondary school, primary school, and also university. But now, it is on your marks, we go. And you can see Honorable Adeke having a look. Honorable Jermaine all the way from Rwanda also having a look. And of course, the 2 honorables from Kenya.
So it is all about Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda in this one.
That is it. That is it here. So we are just waiting for the actual start. Adeke right there. And then also Auma Helen. They're being told to come down and get on their marks well. Who will be victorious here? Adeke Ann is a very good runner. We did see her compete really well in the last couple of editions. She did really well. Many actually believe this could be her race, but let's wait and see, because you do have also Akulo Christine.
I want to see whether Mama Busia will walk the talk.
Walking the talk is something else, but she's very fresh. She has not been competing in any race. The honorable member all the way from Rwanda. So we are on our marks.
She seems very focused.
On our marks right now. The focus is the finishing line. You do not look at your colleague. Okay, the white flag is up and we are off. And there goes the rest. It's Ann making the charge. And look at Mama Busia flying, but Mama Busia yet again. She's dominating this. She's trying to close in. And does she win this? Oh yes, she's running more to the finishing line. Who crosses first? It's Team Kenya.
Let's see what the judges will decide. Let's see.
An emphatic run from Mama Busia, surely. She's come for the 1,500. And we saw her getting a massage on whichever part of her body that ran this race. And minutes later, she's down here in the 100. 100 is blistering pace. She has put on a great performance.
Well, very good finish coming in from Team Kenya, you have to admit. Mama Busia kicked the engine in, but unfortunately, it was a little late. You can't blame her. She's just come from competing in a 1,500 meter race, and she finishes 2, almost close to taking it home.
Very tight finish. I saw the Kenyans getting really ready for this one, and they had lots of focus coming into the 100-meter race. But Mama Busia right there, completing as number 2, and it is also a very big salutation to Uganda after the one.
Yeah.
But from the way the Kenyans are celebrating this, you think they've won a world championship.